You were going on a polar bear shoot in Norway, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's been.
How was that?
Oh man, it was so incredible.
Your shots are amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, didn't get a lot of polar bears, but I don't. It's one of those where you get there and it's like I'm all gung ho. I'm gonna just get all these polar bear images. This one's from Churchill, but not that it matters. But it's not from our Arctic trip. But Svalbard's incredible. That island. It was so cool. The whole experience, being on an icebreaker boat.
Sorry, where is that?
Churchill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Churchill. Yeah, we went on a...
God, look at the colors.
Right, we went on a trip
so
in September specifically to try to catch the polar bears with some color.
Wow.
And I have one, if you go back to the main page that I posted a little while ago, that, I mean, it's just, it really talks about what we were looking for, and the colors were just insane. Go the other direction, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast, you definitely need to go to YouTube.
So that was from Svalbard. That image there was from Svalbard.
That is awesome.
Keep going down. Sorry, people are like dead air if they're not. There you go.
No,
that's a good one.
All right.
Had a seal carcass, that was out on the ice, and we were on the icebreaker boat, and that bear came over and checked it and played with it and was eating, kind of picking the scraps and stuff. And then that bear right after that came right up over right to the boat. Like
really?
Like literally like me to you, like just right there on the ice. Couldn't get on the boat because the way the boat's designed, but yeah. And it was just incredible to be that close. So that's the one I was talking about that I took in Churchill.
They are so fascinating.
Oh, it's incredible. They're an incredible animal. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of color that is just like, that situation is just...
That is unbelievable, man.
Yeah, that was a neat experience. Both those trips were incredible, and I did both those trips in the same year. I was trying to think if that was the trips, but yeah, it is.
Really?
I did both of them in the same year. One was in the fall, and one was in the spring, obviously. But
was that 2023 that we recorded? Was it that long ago?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying.
It's almost like 2 years,
right? It was before, right? I know it was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was Churchill again. And then if you go to the Aurora one that's on that page, those were from Churchill too.
God, that elk photo is awesome.
All those right there are Churchill just because of the color and stuff, right? But yeah, and the Aurora, dude was insane. That's the first time I've really gotten to photograph it.
So did you book, was it a specific like photography guided?
Yeah, we went with the guides. I'd love to give them a shout out, Discover Churchill. And they did an awesome job. Drew's a friend of ours, and him and his buddy, they run that operation there. And we went in the fall, and the nice thing about the fall is you still got pretty clear skies. So we had every night we were going out. We actually joked. We have a whole podcast on the trip, but we joked about how it's a cool one that talks about it. But every night we go out at like till 1 or 2 in the morning, and then you go back and get a couple hours of sleep. Then you're up going to try to find polar bears, right? So it was like there was a couple nights. Ron Hayes, the co-host on the podcast, he's like, man, I was just praying for rain or storm or something so we could get some sleep,
Right. You guys did you change the name or start a new podcast?
Both. We changed the name and started a new podcast, but it's basically just a spin-off from the original one was The Wild and Exposed, and that's still out there. Those episodes are still out there. There's 5 years worth of episodes out there almost every week.
Wow.
And then the new one we've been doing for just almost a year now, and we're sponsored by awesome company Picture Line, which is a camera company there, camera shop in Salt Lake. Big shout out to them. They're such a great supporter. And the cool thing is now is Canon's co-sponsoring it too.
Really?
Yeah. So, it's been fun, man. Yeah, it's been really fun.
Freaking awesome.
We're so lucky to have the sponsorship and to have the followers that we do.
It's a great podcast, man.
I appreciate
if you're not into photography, just listen to some of your guys' experiences.
Yeah.
And then the little bit of banter that's in there.
Yeah. We try to have fun.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's a good podcast. It's definitely worth the listen and the subscribe for sure.
I appreciate it, man.
That's freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you know what episode number the polar bear one is?
Oh, boy.
Or is it titled
right now?
Or something?
The polar bear one won't be too far back because it's we only have about 21 or 22 episodes out right now.
Nice. I got so many podcasts to catch up on.
Yeah, dude. I totally get it, man.
Wow. Are some of those whale photos?
Yeah, that was from Mark's. You can go back on
that is crazy.
The nice thing is go to the Instagram page, right, and check out the episode, kind of which one's which and that, and then go check it out.
Oh, that's cool.
We've had some really
good artwork to go with the podcast cover, huh?
Yeah, we've had some really good guests on. It's incredible. So.
Oh, you guys covered some Colorado stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's a buddy of ours, Kevin. He was trying to get all the cats in Colorado on trail cams. in a year, right?
That's what I was going to tell you. Originally, when we dove off on the cat thing, I've met all these people that are cat hunters or houndsmen and stuff in the state because of that, right?
Yeah.
And because of the podcast.
Right.
And them personally reaching out and, either thanking me or like, hey, it was a great episode, or you should add this, man. Like the community, I didn't do that by myself, man. It was all those people like sending me footage and still images and, hey, this is what's happening in the San, Juans, or this is what's happening. It was so cool, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's where all my knowledge came from.
Sure.
And it was like boots on the ground, real people, like ranchers, that sort of thing that somehow heard about the podcast, probably because of Dan is like a superstar in that world. But long story short, I got sent, if you go back to our Instagram, God, this is so awesome. These photos are awesome too. All right, I'm going to have to geek out. I know I'm going to be up all night now. If you go to, we did a story post, so I don't know how to get those. Do you go to archive? Is there an archive or something?
You have to highlight it.
You make it a highlight and then you can go back.
Okay.
Which is this area.
Actually, go up to the little, go to more. Go to more down here.
How long ago was it?
It was like yesterday.
Oh, then you could probably go to your store.
It was a trail cam that somebody sent me. And it's of this cat trying to take down a mule deer and misses, man. And it is wild. There's sound with it, too. I'll have to find it and show it to you.
Yeah.
Do some digging. Look at like there should be a story archive.
Or do your activity. You might be able to get to it there. Maybe. I'm terrible with this, too, so... Story replies or maybe.
Yeah, keep digging, Derek. Maybe go up to the little gear cog and see if you can find it. But it was
There's people yelling at us right now. Go click that button.
No, they can turn this off if we're really upset them that bad. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, there's probably some experts out there.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I don't have people phone in, dude. It would be like,
friend,
that's why we don't record these live. So, sorry, back to the polar bear trip.
Yeah.
Was there some stuff that happened that was like unexpected, or did you kind of know?
No,
going into that, because I always have this weird perspective of like, man, this is how it's going to be. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And then you get in the actual situation, it's totally different.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, that was totally the case here.
Okay.
And in a good way, right? So
it's that one right there.
Sorry.
No,
we got to see
Derek's
this real
pretty quick.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Let's do it. Oh, I did see that.
See if you can give us some sound.
Oh, I thought that was 2 deer when I saw it.
Yeah, that tree saved that buck's life, I think.
Oh, my God, dude. So crazy.
Back to it.
There's some wildlife right there. Chris Camozzi. I don't think there's sound until the second part of it or something. Maybe it's, maybe you just got to turn it up.
Jeez. Sorry, guys.
No, you're
fine,
good, dude. You're good. You're doing awesome.
Instagram trouble, bro. I don't know. For some reason, it's not coming through.
Yeah, but regardless.
But it's wild, dude. You can hear that cat like crash through all that deadfall and like, it's pretty badass.
Yeah,
man.
it's really cool.
So like, I think that was the coolest part of all that stuff is just interacting with those people, those different ranchers, like people with trail cams it was crazy. We have I think it was Halloween night. Mm-hmm. There was a cat that was caught on somebody's Ring camera at like
here
9 p.m. at somebody's door.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
like
cool.
Not far, like 2 miles from here.
Yeah, happy Halloween. That's awesome.
Trick or treating, right? Should have left your candy bucket on that. Another crazy lion story, and then I want to get back to the polar bear.
Yeah, cool.
We had some people move into the neighborhood. They were new to mountain life. This was right around the pandemic. Built this huge privacy fence around their property. And we have a few teenagers in the neighborhood, and they had young kids. All kinds of toys, and their toys were going missing. So the guy came up and knocked on my door because I had young kids, and he was like, "Hey, are your toys getting stolen out of your backyard?"
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, man, I don't think so." He's like, "I think the teenage kids up the street are." I was like, "No, they're good kids. I highly doubt that they're stealing like whatever your kid's soccer ball or whatever."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Why don't you?" Or I don't think I gave him the suggestion. He's like, "I think I'm gonna get like a security company to come up and figure out what's going on. It was a mountain lion.
No way.
Stealing the kids' toys, like toy trucks and like Fisher Price stuff, dude. Like it must have been taking it back to its like
he had a klepto cat
den or something. Dude.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
The guy was shocked. He's like, "You'll never believe." What it was like. Actually, that's more believable than the teenage kids.
Right,
yeah, but it's pretty wild.
That's
man.
actually really cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Huh. That's too funny.
It takes one of your
taking
kids
up the mountain and stashing it. You know, like
I don't know, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
huh. That's wild.
They're so smart, man.
Yeah,
all those animals are so smart. So sorry, back to the polar bear trip. Like we were talking, I always envision something before I get to something that I'm super excited about, and then so I'm just curious because this is something that I might want to go do in the future.
Yeah, no, I would recommend it highly to anybody that wants to have the experience, and that's I think what I learned. Honestly, if I summed it up, is just that it was. And I've tried to do this way more lately. We've talked about this on the other podcast, but I really think it's important to think about these trips that we get to go on. I'm so fortunate to be able to do. My life situation allows me to be able to do it. Is to really go into it with the mindset that it is an experience. It is, it's not just about getting photos. And I think my mindset going into it back then was, I really want to get polar bear photos, right? And then I got there and realized that we're not going to see as many polar bears as maybe I think I wanted to, but then by the end of the trip, I was blown away by the total experience. And we saw, quite a few polar bears. I can't complain. But, you're eight days on the ocean, Arctic Ocean, there's still sea ice out there, and you're getting right up on the fast ice, which is I learned on that trip because I didn't know at the time what the difference of, ice and fast ice. And fast
what
ice.
What is the difference?
So fast ice is still attached to the shore. Okay. So, anyways, you're not allowed in those boats to break the fast ice because the bears come out and hunt on it, right? So there was still fast ice, and we were able to see some bears hunting, like the photos you showed there, where that one bear was, still eating on a carcass. So we had some crazy, incredible encounters, and super grateful for them. They were just not as many as I thought originally, right? Didn't see any giant, bears. Big males, and of course, as guys, right, we're all about the big gnarly males with the big old heads and the giant bodies and the giant claws, but just the incredible. That was probably one of the best boars. Did you see any
cubs or?
Yeah,
that's
we did.
A nice boar, man.
Yeah, he's a pretty boar. He's young, but he's he's not giant, but he's a really pretty bear.
They're so big. Look at that paw, man.
It's incredible. And then we got, photos, you get the ship right up next to the ice and you can see their paw prints. There's the cub we saw, actually, right on cue. Nice job.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so those were a little bit further away, they're cropped a little bit, to have that encounter and see that mama with that little babe, it was really awesome to see. That was actually a famous bear. And, I did some editing on that, and to take a collar off. I'm just being honest, right? Yeah. Like we talked. But
because a lot of these animals are collared.
Yeah, but a lot of them are. Not all of them. That boar wasn't, and I didn't have to mess with it.
How do you do that?
It's all Photoshop, man.
Yeah.
Those apps are so incredible anymore. You'd be shocked.
Pretty nuts,
yeah. Again, being genuine, you can go crazy and change a lot about an image in Photoshop, and you can change the entire background.
You can turn that sow into a boar.
You can thicken them. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff, so, it's, to me, it's just all back to that real quick, just about being genuine about what you're doing.
Sure.
But so that's pretty all natural, except for I did remove the collar and I did kind of take some dirt. She had a bunch of really yellow dirt spots on her butt. So I kind of just cleaned them up a little bit.
Hey man, any supermodel would be happy you would do that.
Right.
When the little bit of photography that I got into and got paid to is I quickly learned that I did not want to edit models.
Yeah, right.
Talking taking little blemishes out of there. It's unbelievable. They don't even look the same.
Right.
They have no
blemishes.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but to this is a great example here. We got to see so much wildlife, and I've never seen those.
God, that's an awesome photo.
Seeing those
I could look at these all night.
It's incredible what we saw. And then we get back to Svalbard, and you're off the boat, we're seeing walruses, we're seeing seals, we're seeing the polar bears, we're seeing whales, we're seeing reindeer.
Wow.
We got so many
crazy.
Cool encounters with critters. Then you get back on land and you're seeing ptarmigan, you're seeing the reindeer, back to that again.
Oh my God, dude. These are, I can't believe I haven't seen these.
So what was really cool is that, we'd have an experience like this. And
listen, if you're listening to this podcast right now, go check it out on YouTube. This is cool.
you'd have this, you'd get on the sea ice, or you're out in the ice in the bays, and you'd have an experience like that where there's that walrus and that baby, and we could get in the Zodiacs, and so now you're low, so that's a really low perspective. You're not shooting from the big ship.
Like you're right on the water.
And you get in these Zodiacs, and it's awesome, man. You're cruising around through the ice and seeing animals like this. It's like, there's so many times on that trip I was kind of like pinching myself, like, am I really here? Am I really having this experience right now with this animal? It was insane, dude. It was incredible.
That makes me want to go even more.
Oh, it was such an amazing trip, man. So shout out to Jeanette and the folks that led that tour, and they did such a great job. I mean, we were so fortunate to have that experience and to do it with guides that we knew, and they really took good care of us. The whole crew on the boat was amazing. Go back real quick.
That's awesome. That's the boat that you guys were on?
Is it just flashing through? Yeah, that's fine. But I mean that if you're on YouTube, some of this stuff, I didn't even know that video was there. That's me. But like that's the kind of experiences we're having. You can see us all, we're all laughing and having fun.
Yeah,
and it's literally a Arctic blizzard. But it was incredible.
That's
man.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we soaked in the entire experience, man. We were super fortunate to have.
God, I'm kicking myself in the ass because when I was touring with these rock bands, a lot of times I would go out and experience stuff, and I'm not kicking myself in the ass. Like once I figured it out, like early on in my career, it was all about chasing women and bar tabs, right?
Sure, yeah.
Which was fun.
Was that part of your life? Yeah.
Yeah. But then as I got a little bit older and, got to go back to some of these places, I'm like, why am I not? I got fascinated with World War II history, and Norway was one of the most incredible spots for that, man. Right. It was so incredible going through like some of those bunkers and like just the culture and the people, and like Norway is a special place.
Oh, it's incredible. Svalbard's amazing too.
There's the boat.
Yeah, so that situation there, what was cool about this spot, and it's funny, we talk about this on the podcast too. You have to go listen to that episode. It's hilarious. But I may have been a little bit aggressive getting back on the boat because you're on the sea ice right here. So we pulled right up to the fast ice and they anchored, and we're sitting there and they let us off. You can see the ladder in the back. And they let us off on the ice, and we were just kind of chilling, out there, walking around,
get
enjoying
off the boat for a
get
minute,
off the
right?
boat, have an experience, and that you can feel the ice, going like this. It was really cool, neat experience. But the boat broke away and the ladder fell. And so it's like, and we're out on the ice, it's like, so there's like a mad scramble to get back to the boat and get on the boat, but
really?
Yeah,